Part 1. The Silent Strength of Self-Control. There comes a moment in life when you realize that reacting to everything, every comment, every opinion, every disappointment, is draining your peace more than the event itself ever could. It's not what happens that hurts you most. It's how you respond to it. Learning the art of not reacting isn't about being cold or emotionless. It's about mastering yourself so deeply that nothing external can shake your internal world. When you stop reacting, you start thinking clearly. When you stop taking things personally, you start living freely. And when you stop letting emotions control you, you start to control your life. The power lies in the pause. Between every event and your reaction, there's a space, a tiny pause, and in that pause lives your power. Most people never use that space. Someone insults them. They snap back. Something goes wrong. They panic. Plans change. They spiral into frustration. They live in reaction mode, constantly letting emotions decide their words and actions. But emotionally strong people do something different. They pause. They breathe. They respond, not react. That single pause is what separates peace from chaos, wisdom from impulse, and strength from weakness. When you learn to pause before reacting, you gain access to a part of your mind that's calm, rational, and powerful. That's where emotional mastery begins. Emotions are messengers, not masters. Every emotion has a purpose. Anger tells you where your boundaries are. Fear warns you of potential danger. Sadness shows you what you value deeply. But emotions were never meant to control your behavior. They were meant to inform it. The problem is that most people build their entire lives reacting to emotions instead of understanding them. They get angry and say things they regret. They feel fear and never take the leap. They feel hurt and close their hearts forever. The moment you start observing your emotions instead of obeying them, you take your power back. When anger arises, notice it. I'm feeling anger. When sadness visits, say, I'm feeling grief right now. By naming the emotion, you create distance from it, and distance creates control. You're not your anger, you're not your sadness. You're the awareness behind them. Why reactivity steals your power. Every time you react impulsively, you give your power to something outside of you. Someone cuts you off in traffic, you scream and fume for 10 minutes. Someone disrespects you online. You argue for hours with a stranger you'll never meet. You let their behavior decide your mood. That's the hidden cost of reactivity. It keeps you emotionally enslaved to the world around you. When you react, you're saying, you control my peace. But when you choose not to react, you're saying, I control my peace. And that's one of the greatest freedoms a human can achieve. The calm mind sees more clearly. Have you ever noticed how, when you're angry, everything looks worse? Your mind exaggerates problems. Your body tenses up. You replay the same event in your head over and over. But when you're calm, even difficult situations seem manageable. That's because a calm mind can see possibilities that a reactive mind can't. When you learn the art of not reacting, you stop creating extra suffering around events that were already painful enough. You stop fighting reality and start flowing with it. Calmness isn't weakness, it's clarity. It's the power to think before you speak, to pause before you act, and to choose peace when chaos knocks at your door. Not reacting doesn't mean not feeling. Some people think not reacting means suppressing emotions or pretending not to care. That's not true. Suppressing emotions makes them stronger. The art of not reacting means allowing yourself to feel fully, but deciding consciously how to respond. It means saying, yes, I feel angry, but I don't need to act on it right now. It means saying, yes, this hurts, but I won't let it destroy my peace. That's emotional maturity, the balance between feeling and wisdom. You can feel deeply and still stay grounded. You can care deeply and still protect your peace. That's real strength. the spiritual side of not reacting. Every ancient philosophy, from Stoicism to Buddhism, teaches the same truth. Suffering doesn't come from what happens to us. It comes from our reaction to it. The Stoics said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." The Buddha said, "You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger." When you react emotionally, you create inner turbulence. But when you let go of the need to react, you enter a deeper state of peace, one that nothing external can touch. The storm may rage around you, but inside, you remain still. That's true mastery. Learning the art in daily life. Start practicing this in small ways. When someone irritates you, don't respond immediately. When you feel the urge
to prove your point, pause. When something goes wrong, breathe instead of panicking. Each time you practice restraint, you build emotional muscle. Each time you choose calm over chaos, your peace gets stronger, and one day, you'll realize, you've stopped reacting to life. You're simply observing it, responding wisely, and moving forward with peace in your heart.
Final part. Emotional mastery. Living with unshakable peace. When you reach the stage where you no longer react to everything, you've entered a new level of emotional freedom. A level where your peace is not dependent on circumstances, people, or opinions. This is where true strength lives, in silence, in patience, and in calm awareness. 1. The root of overreaction. Before we learn calmness, we must understand why we react in the first place. Reactivity is a defense mechanism. It's the mind's way of saying, "I feel threatened." When someone disrespects you, your ego wants to defend itself. When things don't go your way, your fear of losing control gets triggered. When you're ignored, your mind tells you that you're not enough. Every reaction is rooted in pain, either fear, insecurity, or unresolved emotion. So instead of fighting your reactions, start understanding them. Ask yourself, what emotion is trying to control me right now? Why does this situation make me feel unsafe or unseen? Is this about them, or something inside me that still needs healing? Awareness is the antidote to reactivity. 2. Awareness before action. When you become aware of your triggers, you no longer become trapped by them. Instead of reacting, you observe. Someone criticizes you. Pause. You feel anger rising. Pause. You notice judgment forming. Pause. That pause is where you meet yourself. You begin to realize, I can feel this emotion and still stay in control. That's emotional maturity, and not denying feelings but directing them. Awareness turns reaction into response, and response into wisdom. 3. The freedom of detachment. Emotional control doesn't mean indifference. It means detachment. Detachment means you care, but you're not consumed. You love people deeply, but you don't beg for their validation. You work hard, but you're not destroyed by outcomes. Detachment allows you to experience life fully without losing yourself in it. When you practice detachment, criticism no longer crushes you, praise no longer inflates you, and chaos no longer shakes you. You simply observe life as it unfolds, doing your best and letting go of the rest. That is the calm confidence of someone who has mastered the art of not reacting. 4. Protecting your peace in a loud world. The modern world thrives on reaction. Social media, news, conversations, everything is designed to provoke emotions. Anger gets clicks, outrage sells, drama entertains. But the wise learn to protect their peace. You protect your peace when you don't reply to negativity. You protect your peace when you choose silence over proving a point. You protect your peace when you log off, walk away, and focus on what truly matters. Peace is not found in controlling others. It's found in controlling yourself. Every time you choose not to react, you are saying, "My peace is more important than this argument. My energy is too valuable to waste on chaos." And over time, peace becomes your natural state, not your temporary mood. 5. The power of emotional alchemy. When you stop reacting, you start transforming. You turn pain into wisdom. You turn rejection into redirection. You turn anger into clarity. That's emotional alchemy, the ability to take what was meant to break you and use it to build yourself. You no longer let emotions drown you. You ride their waves with grace. You no longer fight life. You flow with it. Every storm becomes a lesson. Every disappointment becomes redirection. Every silence becomes peace. This is how emotionally strong people move, with calm hearts, quiet confidence, and unshakable inner strength. 6. How to practice. Every day. Emotional mastery is not achieved overnight. It's built through daily mindfulness. Here are a few simple practices. 1. Breathe before you speak. The breath creates space between impulse and wisdom. 2. Journal your emotions. Write what triggers you and what lesson it carries. 3. Practice silence. You don't have to respond to everything. Silence is sometimes the loudest answer. 4. Meditate on impermanence. Everything passes. The anger, the pain, the disappointment. Nothing lasts forever. 5. Choose peace deliberately. Every time you have a choice between reaction and calmness, choose calmness, even if it feels unnatural at first. With time, peace becomes your instinct. 7. The strength of stillness. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It's the presence of control. In stillness, you can hear your intuition clearly. In stillness, you can feel your truth without distortion. In stillness, you can see life as it really is, not as your emotions paint it. Most people fear stillness because it reveals what they've been avoiding, but those who embrace it become unshakable. The quiet person is not weak. They're powerful. They don't need to prove anything. They've found peace inside themselves. 8. Living as the master of your emotions. Imagine living each day unbothered by negativity.
Unshaken by stress, and unbroken by challenges. That's not fantasy. That's what happens when you stop reacting and start mastering your inner world. Life will still test you. People will still disappoint you, but instead of losing yourself in chaos, you'll simply smile, breathe, and say, "This doesn't deserve my energy." That is real power, quiet, steady, and eternal. You don't need to be louder than the noise. You just need to be calmer than the storm. 9. Final reflection. Your peace is sacred. The greatest flex in the modern world is peace of mind. It's being so centered that nothing outside you can disturb the calm within. So, from this moment forward, make a promise to yourself. You will no longer be a slave to emotions. You will no longer give power to things that steal your peace. You will respond with wisdom, not react with impulse. Because when you master yourself, the world can no longer control you. The storms will come, but you will remain grounded. People will test you, but you will stay kind. Life will challenge you, but you will walk through it with grace. That is the art of not reacting, the mindset that protects your peace and changes your life forever. Gemstone.